Aye, Billy.
I can't hear you.
Aye, Billy.
Honestly, I have no clever segue. People, I am so excited for the next time. Not before.
You know what?
Uh,
You know what? No.
God.
There was no clever segue. That was just the way to do this.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't even know how to wrap my head around it. Like, okay, sadly, I don't do that many reactions, people, and how I watch Death Battle is I finish work at like 7 p.m. on Sundays, and I get on the bus and I watch the Death Battle on my phone. And luckily, there was no one in the bus because I would have been so embarrassed. But after I seen this, I was like, all right, is this going to be, Sauron's fight? And I'm not going to say who. I might have gotten spoiled who he's fighting, but we'll have to wait and see. But when it said hold on to your barnacles under the sea, my brain was kicking in. I was just like, no fucking way. And then it just shows the mad lad himself putting on his pants. I was like, what?
And then all of a sudden, it's not who people wanted him to fight. It's Aquaman.
I don't even care about his opponent. The fact SpongeBob is in Death Battle. Like, what?
What's funny is that the day before, you posted a SpongeBob fan game on your channel. The next day, SpongeBob comes to Death Battle. What is your source?
I really am surprised by that. Not only that, Brandon Yates released a SpongeBob vs. Goku soundtrack. Like,
All the stars were aligning.
I
Yes.
have something to add to that.
Go ahead, because I'm going to spend a long time on this.
I'm gonna find it first, but there it is. So, leading up to Trunks v Silver, I was just thinking to myself, man, if Silver wins, I'm gonna listen to this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, really? Sweet Victory, the best song in any cartoon. But, okay, people. There's a reason we got ZDogg
whoever's
on here.
who's ever doing the soundtrack for for this one, there's a reference for a music number you can put. There's a reference.
There you go.
Okay.
That has to be playing at the
Now,
end.
okay, why is this episode getting people going crazy? Well, this generation, when it comes to Death Battle, who hasn't grown up with SpongeBob? He is the most iconic cartoon character who's still going to this day. And I will admit, his newer seasons may not be as good, but there's still some funny ones out there.
Yeah, like, I was talking to my dad about this. Even my dad was invested and even gave me a prediction, I should say, when we get to that. He's actually looking forward to how it plays out.
And I feel like because SpongeBob plays such a big part, like, I was getting to this bit, sorry. Yeah, like, I squealed on the bus, and I had to actually cover my mouth so I didn't scream so the people downstairs on the bus heard me. That was how excited. I've never been this excited for a Death Battle. Like, because it's been, I did a poll, did that whole trend with like, oh, leave a like, and I'll, say a Death Battle. Like, I only have 11 Death Battles that I really want, but I'm not someone who's, oh man, I would die if I see these matchups. It's like, nah, they'll just be fun to see. But SpongeBob's just had such a special place in my heart as a kid. Like, okay, how Sean is with Bleach and how your only mate is with Ruby, that is how I'm like with SpongeBob. Like, and SpongeBob's getting a new video game, and of course I'm going to play that for my channel.
I mean, that's also why we have ZDogg here as well. He's really into SpongeBob too.
Yeah, but like I share the same sentiments. Like when I was like I am a 2000s kid, so I did watch a lot of SpongeBob growing up. I loved all the episodes. I loved him so much, and he is one of the characters and franchises I wanted to see come to Death Battle the most. Like I don't want to say almost as much as, probably not as much. Like, I don't know. I was gonna say about the same level as Skullgirls. That's how much I wanted it. Like, oh my gosh! And if if you talk to me, you know how much I want that series in Death Battle. And I just I never. I wanted it for so long, but I didn't know it was actually gonna happen. There was a lot of popular requests. There still is. they're probably are going to do Goofy versus Patrick eventually. But like, just the fact that we're here and it's actually confirmed that he's next, like, oh my gosh, like,
The amount
I'm so
of times,
excited.
The amount of times I replayed the next time more than the fight before I got home pretty much showed just like, it's like my brain had to process that, like, so we've replayed this like 500 times. Should we get Bill to stop? No, just let him have his moment.
It's just one of those things
Yeah,
no one expected to actually happen. This is the same case when it was confirmed that mythology was coming to death battle for Hercules and Sun Wukong.
Yeah.
But like, even like, and it's also kind of like that, and like, yeah, but like, I think his opponent's more surprising than anything. Like,
oh my
like,
Lord,
yeah,
no.
like,
I
like,
don't think anyone, I was gonna say, I don't
Sorry.
think anyone would have guessed specifically Super Friends Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, he's like, SpongeBob is like one of those characters. It feels like everyone is pitted against him. He's like one of those characters. Like, he has so many matchups, and like, I think this is like one of the last people would have expected to do so. Like, they're bringing back a specific Goofy cartoon version of a character to fight him. Like, okay, like, I'm here for it, but like, what?
Yeah,
Like, I was so confused.
it's absolutely
Oh my God.
ludicrous. Just like, don't get me wrong, you know, after Xenoverse Trunks versus Silver, Archie Silver, hey, why not bring in some more, you know, characters from other franchises or even other universes?
Yeah.
But of course, no one expected Super Friends. Now, here's the thing though, Super Friends Aquaman, it does make sense because I'm also down for Chowder. Chowder's also another cartoon I grew up with, it was really good. The problem is though, SpongeBob's one of those characters where he does need to be in water. I know he's been on the surface, but he's always required like some sort of magic or some plot inconvenience to stay above water. Or he turns into a little sponge on a stick at one point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yes, I do agree. But also, like, I felt like Death Battle could work around it anyway. Like, Death Battle, if they were to do it, would find a way to work around it anyway.
Okay.
Like, even if their opponent was like a land dweller, but like.
But that's why I think it makes sense to do
Aquaman
Aquaman, because he also requires underwater for a lot of his stuff. So I think that makes a lot more sense.
And you know, I do want to also debunk this. People, I've seen a few comments like, well, SpongeBob's the size of your foot, so how would that be fair? People, in one of the Nickelodeon crossover games, SpongeBob got transported into Jimmy Neutron's universe, and canonically, they're the same size.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And also, do people forget that Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are actual people?
Yeah. So,
At least Mermaid Man was.
don't get me wrong, like
They're not ludicrously. Well, they're not. I mean, they are, but they're not like ludicrously oversized compared to SpongeBob and Patrick.
yeah. Plus, if you're gonna be like that for SpongeBob, you go also be like that for Kirby, because canonically, he would fit in the palm of your hand.
Exactly.
So, you know what? If you're going to be like that for SpongeBob, you also got to be like that for Kirby. But, of course, these universes have ways of matching another character's size. And, yes, canonically, SpongeBob on land, he's pretty small compared to us. But, of course, when he goes to another universe, he's the same size as, like, what they would be. So, and not only that, he's a fucking cartoon character. Who fucking cares?
Exactly.
Like, get your nerdy glasses off. You're not smart.
I mean, to be fair, don't make him seem comparable with the animation anime to Aquaman, because Aquaman's like 6'1".
Yeah, so he might be slightly smaller, but they'll make it work. Okay, so SpongeBob versus Super Friends Aquaman.
So,
Oh my God.
the Super Friends, we were talking about SpongeBob for a bit, but I did want to bring this up about Super Friends. Super Friends was a cartoon back in the 70s. This went on for 12 years, 1973 to 1985.
Yeah, don't they have like 9 seasons? Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 seasons.
Oh my God.
This is kind of like
Oh gosh.
this show was kind of that early era superhero movies, you know, like Spider-Man. You know, before we had that really amazing Batman cartoon that was all dark and gritty and beautifully animated. Before that, we kind of had Adam West Batman in cartoon.
Aquaman
Yeah.
was played by two different actors, by what I'm seeing so far. He was played by Norman Alden and William Calloway.
That name does sound familiar. Where else have I heard his voice? What other voices has he done?
So, which one? William Calloway or
Yeah,
Norman?
William Calloway. So that name does
Okay, I'll
sound
look
familiar.
that up if you want to go on about the Super Friends cartoon.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I've never watched anything of the Super Friends Aquaman. The closest I ever got to watching it was when Family Guy did their parody opening of it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and
I think I saw that not too long ago. It was like Superman, Wonder
actually-
Woman, Batman and Robin, Aquaman, and
Okay,
Meg.
he's actually been in G.I. Joe. He played Beachhead.
Really? Okay, wow, okay, that's funny.
He was also in Darkwing Duck as the Comet Guy.
No way, was he? I love Darkwing Duck.
And
gosh.
he was
Mystery
actually-
Darkwing Duck.
He was actually in DuckTales as Wild Bill Beagle.
No, are you serious?
What?
That is on his IMDb page. I mean, he was also in a Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers, but
Oh my, wow, okay then. So, yeah, I guess that's probably why I recognize his name. He's voiced quite a few popular characters.
Yeah.
What a legend.
yeah, the Super Friends cartoon. I think this was like the first time DC had an animated cartoon. Maybe I think there was probably others because DC Comics was founded in like the 1930s or so.
Yeah, most of DC content in terms of TV was mainly like live action stuff, like Wonder Woman, Batman, and I think they were only just about getting around to doing their films. One of them being the Superman.
But yeah, as far as like Saturday morning cartoons, the Super Friends was the most well-known DC one, and all the episodes were about an hour long.
An hour?
This was
What?
back in the 70s
Why?
and 80s when people were okay and had better attention spans.
Wow, and people complained about
Okay, that's fair.
Daredevil having too long episodes.
Oh, gosh. I mean,
But
that's
Aquaman
like,
is...
I mean, to be fair, people really don't have that long attention. Oh, hey, a butterfly. No,
Listen, no wonder Warner Bros. Are in debt at the moment. Their years of making those animations are sneaking up on them. Like, oh, by the way, you have like billions of dollars you sunk into this animated show. They're like, oh yeah, we did that. Oops.
Yeah, I wanted to give a little bit of background on Super Friends since we did the same for the SpongeBob cartoon. If you want to go more into SpongeBob, Billy.
Yeah, 'cause we didn't really get to cover a lot of SpongeBob, to be honest. I think we were just expressing our excitement about this character getting in. So, okay.
Yeah.
So SpongeBob is a character who's gone on for a long time, still going on to this day, and he's had a few ups and downs in terms of like quality content. I think his latest movies have been kind of bad, especially Sponge on the Run.
Yeah, I heard Sponge on the Run wasn't that good. I think I did kind of enjoy Sponge Out of Water, but I don't know what the general consensus on it was.
There was one funny joke. I can't remember what Patrick's entire line was. He said something to SpongeBob, and SpongeBob just laughed, went, haha, very funny, Patrick. I love your sense of irony. And then Patrick replies saying, I love my skills in ironing as well. And he's ironing a shirt. And then when they get to an argument, he puts on the shirt just to rip it in rage. But the rest of that movie was just... They were just forcing in scenes for that new SpongeBob spin-off.
Oh yeah, Camp Coral.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, so you are right. It is still running today, but this was first released back in May of 1999.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
It's crazy, like. And SpongeBob, of course, through those years, if you've seen Saitan versus Popeye, yeah, he kind of has that same toon force as well. Not maybe on the same level as Popeye. You know, he can't just ignore being erased from existence. But
Yeah, he's not that insane, but it is still pretty crazy.
he's
how much
impossible.
shit's worth to get to with it.
To be fair, he's impossible to kill, really. Like in terms of like his universe, he's been disintegrated, he's been turned to ash and regenerated. He's continuously pulled himself apart and just reattached. And the most classic thing, he survived. Yeah, he survived a pie bomb, which not only blew up his city, but could be seen from like space, and it was equal to nuke. Now here's the thing: if you were to scale SpongeBob to our size, and assuming the city blocks, how powerful was that nuke have been if it was powerful enough to not only blow up his city, but also could be seen from like the ocean?
Yeah.
At least in his universe.
Boy.
Like, that has to be way more powerful than the nukes that hit Hiroshima over here. And also, Twitter's just letting me know, AG just put a new image. Yeah, thanks, I don't care at the moment.
Wow.
Okay, no, I love AG's art, but, right now we're talking about something else important. SpongeBob. Listen,
AG is amazing.
she is.
Love her.
I love her art. She did one for me of
Okay,
my
so-
character on a bantha. It's amazing.
So I assume that most of us have watched SpongeBob.
I
Yeah.
mean, I was going to say, maybe uncultured when it comes to 90% of things, but if he hasn't watched SpongeBob, I would really question it.
I watched it when I was a kid.
Right, okay. I was
And
going
I
to
still
say,
remember a surprising amount.
yeah, I mean,
I think that just shows the test of time with SpongeBob itself, honestly. Like, he just is
Yeah.
so memorable.
and listen, the amount of reactions that have
Exactly.
both been excitement and confusion are amazing.
Mine included.
Yes.
But more so confusion,
Yeah.
just laughing.
Like, I've seen so many reactions where they're like, really? And there's like almost cheering.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, when I remember just when my group when the group I watched it with reacting into it, when we saw Aquaman, someone just like burst out. It was so good. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I didn't know what to think. Like, I just like, oh my gosh, SpongeBob, like, what the hell? What the hell is this? The Dante, what the hell is this? But like, oh my god. Oh my god.
do you know, Zeno, you weren't the only one that actually asked to join the podcast as well. Like, I remember getting a message after work, you saying, "Hey, have you seen the death battle?" And I was a bit,
Yeah.
and I was a bit confused by it. I was like, strange. Like, I guess maybe.
Well, no, I was asking you like when you guys were recording. Just squeeze that in there.
I was
Yeah,
thinking like,
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe the next time's another Sonic character. Maybe it's another franchise he's into. But and not yet. Purple Demon also messaged me. He messaged me today, by the way. So, Purple, sorry we couldn't get you on. We already planned ZDogg, but he did say though, if Gru versus Megamind ever becomes an episode, which I think is very likely this season, then we'll definitely get you on, mate. But of course, ZDogg has made it very clear. I've seen some of his fan trailers. Yeah, he loves SpongeBob. Like,
yeah, I'm a really big fan of like and a lot of that is a lot of that might be from just childhood nostalgia like I am with Mario. Like I just hold it very dear to my heart, and like just like I said, I wanted it for so long, and I can't believe it's actually happening. It just, man.
yeah. So to talk about like SpongeBob's like power level, like of course he's not the most absurd like Toon Force type of characters like the Mask or Bugs Bunny, etc. But everything that's been consistent throughout his runtime was that, aside his strength's kind of all over the place. One moment he can't even lift a glass of apple juice, but then next minute he can like push over a building that's like 30 times the size of it. It's like a bit inconsistent there.
Yeah.
And then
It's a cartoon.
and then there's another one where he could survive a nuke that was strong enough to be seen from space, but then he gets his arms and legs ripped off by children. So it's a bit inconsistent, but they're mainly gonna probably give him they're gonna mainly give him like the high balls of his feet. So
Oh yeah, well definitely take characters at their best. So
well, SpongeBob's like one moment he's at
boy.
his best, and then one moment he's not. So it's a bit funny, but obviously they're gonna take him at when he's destructive, and not when he can't lift the glass of
boy.
apple juice. And
There is one feat of his I'm very curious how they're going to calculate, if they
what's
even
that?
can. I actually haven't seen the episode, but I know about it. In the episode, I think the string, he just flat out unravels the entire
I remember
universe.
this.
yeah, I saw
Like
this recently.
freaking, he takes the string and like just pulls apart the entire universe where there's nothing in a white void, but Patrick's still there somehow because of course he is.
He eats his spinach.
So I'm very interested. There you go. So I'm
Yeah, I
very
think
interested in how
Liam
they're
brought
going to
this up on
calculate.
cast like this year.
Mhm. Oh yeah, when they did SpongeBob and Patrick Goofy. That makes sense.
Go on, ZDogg.
So yeah, I don't know, because like there's like obviously there's a bunch of good contradicting things with that. I think I'm pretty sure that's his most powerful though, like pulling apart the universe, how you can do that. But there's also I'm just gonna say it outright. I do think, besides that, I do believe that he should at least be planetary.
I agree.
Mostly because of that one episode. Yeah, mostly because the primary story.
Picking that up soon.
Oh boy.
ZDogg, continue.
But primarily it's from the very second episode of the show, Reflower, where he sucks up all the water from the ocean, and it explodes. Which I've seen that calc at planet level, so they probably are going to give it to him, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bunch of things showcasing his power. Those are the main two I think they're going to bring up.
Do you know what's funny? I think there's a consistency as well with this. Like, that was in the first episode when they did that funny little short, a really funny episode. There's no dialogue, but the slapstick is great.
There's no silence then, basically. Exactly.
But then there's another bit where a few episodes later, he actually orders a new one, and him and Patrick play with their new Hoovers. That could just be, convenient. But I kind of like to think, like, he did order for a new one since he, kind of destroyed everything with his other one.
Yeah.
That episode was funny. It's like the fact that all of the city in the ocean gets really messed up, except for SpongeBob's lot. Like,
because of course.
What's even funny, he nearly destroyed the world, all because Squidward decided to be a jerk that episode and kick over a clam over to his side.
Yep, of course.
All this could have been avoided if Squidward wasn't a dick that day. But aside that, he's also had moments where he's rewrote a story to give himself superpowers in one of the movies. That's a pretty good film. Not as good as the first film that came out years ago, but I liked it. Mainly for Patrick, touching a bubble that had a cannonball in it and it just crushed his face.
Yes.
Or the Goofy Goober song.
I'm a goofy goober, yeah.
I knew that was coming.
You're a goofy goober, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I've already got enough copyright as it is from playing SpongeBob's theme.
My gosh, yeah. There's a bunch of stuff here you can give SpongeBob here, and I really hope they go all out with it. Like give him the Goofy Goober, give him the Invincible, give him. I am curious if they are going to give him the pencil that he had in the Doodle Bob episode.
They could actually, because in one of the games it was a draw to life game, a SpongeBob. I still have it. I think he does have that still. He keeps it in his house somewhere, so they could give it to him. But,
I think it would make sense to give it to him. That could be a bit dangerous.
Also
because of the eraser ability that kind of ignores like normal durability because it just erases things.
Not only that, it doesn't just erase like what they've drawn. Like SpongeBob's pants got erased by mistake, and his actual butt. so people, if you wonder why SpongeBob doesn't have cheeks anymore, Doodle Bob did it.
I was gonna say,
it's because of this.
Last name.
It's because of this. I'm just remembering that scene where he's just like, "I am SpongeBob, destroyer of evil." Take it easy. It's just a drawing.
Such a good episode. So the final point I'll bring up for SpongeBob, which, the thing that's always been considered SpongeBob, he's practically impossible to kill. He's been punched and he doesn't feel anything. He's been ripped in half and he just reattaches. He's been literally disintegrated. Like, there was one episode he became a superhero with Mermaid Man. He had lava melting on his head and all he did was run around. All that was left of his feet. A few scenes later, he's back in a wheelchair. And there was one moment he got vaporized.
Because of course. Well, that is... go on.
There was also another episode where he had to look after Mermaid Man's lair, and Man Ray disintegrated him, and what was left was just a bit of ash. and next scene they're in their superhero costumes like nothing happened.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, that's kind of one of the reasons that I think I am siding with SpongeBob. Like stats aside, like how is Aquaman gonna kill him? Like, he's insanely durable, like what Bill said. Like, the only way I can see is if Aquaman has some sort of heat, because heat is one of the main weaknesses of the SpongeBob cast. Because like in the like what Bill said with the oh gosh, no, like what Bill said with the Krakatoa, like, hot things can disintegrate him, and that's almost how they died in, well, spoiler. Well, I'm giving a spoiler warning for the SpongeBob movie anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've seen
I mean, how old is the movie? If you haven't seen it yet, you're not going to.
I know.
I mean,
I'm
that's
sorry,
the equivalent of the Harry Potter spoiler.
I can't help myself, okay? But no, that's like, SpongeBob and Patrick almost died in the first movie because they were heated up and almost ran out of water. So unless Aquaman can manipulate some sort of heat to where he can get SpongeBob with that, I honestly don't think he's winning this at the moment.
Correction about that though, they technically didn't die. They just got burnt up to the point they dried up. However, all the fish that were in the shop, the moment they got a little bit of water, they immediately came back. So it really,
well, yeah.
And you got to think, those fish have probably been there.
Weird. I mean,
those fish have probably been there for years, but the moment water started touching them, they were back to normal. So if all it takes is like a bit of like sprinkles of water to bring SpongeBob back to full health and strong enough to lift a golden plated crown over his head. Granted, he had Patrick, I know, but it required both of them to lift it. So yeah. And plus, Aquaman's main powers from Super Friends, he needs water to do a lot of things, so SpongeBob's going to have plenty of it.
Oh, boy.
Alright, we've talked about SpongeBob enough,
like
so Sean, why don't you go over Super Friends?
Alright, the Super Friends cartoon was bonkers.
Some people say I'm free.
Dude. There are literally some scenes that just don't make sense in this cartoon, but like the time they gave Robin a bunch of superpowers, that's the thing that happened.
Why?
Oh boy.
So the story of that was when someone made a giant monster that had the powers of Superman, the will and intelligence of Batman, and Wonder Woman's lasso and gauntlets.
Sorry, I have to say this. Holy Kryptonian Godzilla, Batman!
That was the exact line he said when he freed them. No, wait, it was more, holy helplessness, Batman.
Oh my gosh.
Another example, I was talking to Torek about this. You all know Captain Cold?
Yep.
Oh gosh.
He once froze an entire building and then just pushed it.
Oh, wow.
Just literally pushed it like it was, oh gosh. What does that, okay.
Very, very interested to see how they calculate that.
No, in the cartoons, they made Darkseid's Omega beams powerful enough to start a volcanic eruption.
Well, I mean, compared to what he could do in the comics, though, with his Omega beam, like tear you atom from atom, incinerate half the universe, I don't think that's that impressive.
Alright, so Arthur Curry is his actual name. And he is the ruler of Atlantis. A lot of stuff in the Super Friends is still kind of consistent with the comics.
Yeah, this is during like the goofy era of a lot of comic books where some of them had dark stories.
For example, his weapon of choice, the Trident of Neptune, which is actually a magical-based weapon.
Nice.
Oh, there's other things Aquaman has. For example, he can actually ride into battle on a seahorse named Storm. To give you context, that is actually yeah, exactly. So Aquaman is 6'1", 325 pounds, according to the DC knowledge about him. Most of that obviously being muscle mass. So it's literally a horse-sized seahorse he can ride in the battle.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, usually he rides a great white, but the fact that there's a literal horse-sized seahorse in his kingdom is pretty funny.
And he
Yeah,
also
that's
he also has a submarine because why not?
Please tell me it's yellow.
I don't remember if it is or not.
Damn.
Damn it.
Hey, listen, I'm getting enough copyright as it is from playing SpongeBob's theme. I don't need the Beatles coming after me from beyond the grave.
You know, all I was gonna say is, if you don't get that reference, you are an uncultured swine.
But
I'm
like,
British, man.
I meant the audience.
Okay, then.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know how much the
My
younger
apologies.
generation has heard the Beatles, honestly.
Oh, come on, everyone's heard of the Beatles.
Oh.
Put in the comments if you haven't heard of the Beatles.
I was
And
gonna say there's gonna be that one comment like, who?
it's just that one comment who goes, I am. I just
wait,
charged.
wait. Pause, mate. Speaking of the Beatles.
Oh, I'm
Speaking
just
of
gonna
the
make a
Beatles,
joke.
I had this written down. There's also apparently of the Beatles, particularly a song called "With a Little Help from My Friends." No, that is something that has actually happened in the show. I am not kidding.
And I was gonna make a comment like, there's that one comment that says I haven't heard about the Beatles, and I do that whole meme where I charge into his house. Scientifically impossible. But then Sean
He also-
interrupted.
No, because I literally have it pulled up and I forgot. I didn't realize that until just now. Like, that is so funny. It's also, so you remember how Danny Rand had a thing called Heart of the Dragon?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, do they have like something like Heart of
Yes.
Atlantis or something?
Yeah, Aquaman has
gosh.
3 well-known catchphrases he says in the show. Great Atlantis, Great Neptune, by the beard of Poseidon.
To be fair, he does say that in the comics as well, like the more serious ones, so it's not surprising that even the cheesy one has him say it.
Yeah.
And this guy also, besides being the ruler of Atlantis, is married to Mira, the mentor of Aqualad, and also in the Super Friends show, his hometown is actually called Poseidon-ness.
Subtle, DC, very subtle.
Yeah.
It's the
What?
equivalent. That is the equivalent of Green Arrow owning that. What's his name? Robin Hood shop. You know, very subtle.
Honestly, like, from what I got told, Aquaman, well, before looking into Aquaman, of course, he was basically the joke character of the Super Friends.
I think he still is. I think even Dragon Ball Bridge have made fun of him.
Yeah, a lot
You know,
of people.
I was talking to Care about that. How funny would it be if they brought Lanny back to voice him in the episode?
We can use whales!
I was about to say that.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
Oh my god.
Now I'm just remembering, I had a hell of a day, Vegeta. I sunk their battleship and their whales.
Okay, so his turns out the submarine does actually have a name.
Boy, what is it?
His submarine is called the Double Dolphin.
That's not bad.
Is that what Mira says when he invites him for a threesome?
Oh,
Oh,
my
God.
god.
He's
No.
all, guess what? Besides Storm and the Double Dolphin, he's also got the Aqua Scooter.
The-
Wait.
What?
Put this on.
Really?
Put this on
Scooter?
screen. I need to see this.
I'm trying to find an image of it.
Why does he
What
need
the
a,
hell?
he has a submarine and a steed. Why does he need a scooter?
Because why not? Honestly, that's
I
right.
mean, to be fair, if you can have multiple transportations, oh god.
Oh my
That-
gosh.
That
Here's
again.
what's funny. It appeared.
So I was just gonna say that again. Wonder Woman has an airplane. Don't know why. Yeah,
And it can ride the surface.
Sean, you're kind of cutting out for us, or at least you're cutting out for me.
I was going over the front.
No, I'm just laughing
it's
too
getting
much.
over
I may have peaked my microphone, that's why.
Oh,
Okay, so,
Oh,
like I
boy.
said, the Aqua Scooter is basically one of his many forms of transportation. It was probably his earliest, I think. That's why, like, he had it. I'll
right.
give a picture later for post, but say this guy
Gosh.
has a bunch of transportation besides being able to swim is absurd.
Oh.
Now I'm just picturing SpongeBob in the Pac-Man driving alongside Aquaman on his scooter during their fight.
Okay,
Just
here's
have on
what's
the
funny.
wave. Oh, God.
One of his abilities is telepathy. You know who else has telepathy in the Super Friends show? Go on, take a guess.
Superman.
Take a guess.
No.
Superman.
Batman.
Bill?
Robin.
Oh,
Oh, wait, sorry.
Aqualad. Is
No.
Aqualad in it, or was he introduced later on in the series?
I think I later introduced. Mate, any guesses out of all the Super Friends?
I mean, I want to guess Martian Manhunter, but I don't know if he's even in that.
No, I don't think he was introduced at that point. He was introduced in the 80s.
Oh.
The correct answer was Wonder Woman.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Wonder Woman had telepathy.
That again, Wonder Woman, when she was coming into comics, they didn't know what powers to give her. One moment she's a sword wielder, next minute she can fly, next minute she's super strong. It's like, they couldn't really figure out what powers to give her. So eventually they just gave them all.
Aquaman is different than Wonder Woman, obviously, because it's aquatic telepathy.
You could only work
Which allows him to
underwater, I'm
telepathically
guessing.
communicate with sea creatures. It's mostly a sea creature thing.
But can he, like,
Okay.
mind control them? That's the thing I'm wondering. Like,
Yes.
Okay,
He
so
has. Okay, here's how this works.
ZDogg, your mic peaked for a moment.
Here's
Oh, I'm
how.
sorry.
Here's the biggest thing. Aquaman can control sea creatures. The key weakness here is that the more intelligent the creature he's trying to control is, the less likely he can take control.
So I think he might struggle with SpongeBob.
Biggest example is the time
Well,
he
I mean-
asked dolphins for help, and they made a dam. He couldn't control them, he asked them for help. But it theoretically could also affect SpongeBob, given SpongeBob's not exactly that bright.
No, here's
Well,
the
he's
thing.
not smart, but
Nah,
I feel like he could. I mean, he would have some resistance to it. I seem to remember, I forget where, but I think he does have some sort of resistance to mind control. I mean, he has fallen victim to it a lot. Main thing is with the one, what's it called?
Let's talk about the
Actually,
thing ZDogg was
are you
dreading
thinking
me talking about.
Are you thinking about when Plankton implemented that thing into his brain?
No, although
Okay.
that's also a good thing. I'm thinking of the one from the
That was more
Mermaid Man
nerve
and Barnacle Boy
control.
episode with Man Ray. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Plankton at that point was only controlling his like body with like the nerves in his brain, but SpongeBob was still aware of what's going on.
No, it was the Orb of Confusion I was thinking of,
Oh,
where he falls back into that.
in that case
Where
though, that was
like
that was like a sort of.
they
like-
touch it and they.
Oh, sorry, you're cutting out for me.
Oh, sorry.
So I don't know what's.
Well,
I
keep
think-
going.
Yeah, there was just like a moment where it sounds like you stopped. So when I talk, then I hear you continuing the sentence, and then I stop, but then you stop. So, yeah, it was a bit confusing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to avoid that, but you know.
Here's the thing. So you were asking ZDogg if Aquaman can generate some sort of heat.
Yeah,
Answer
does he
is
have
yes.
pyrokinesis or something? Oh,
He
dear
has
gosh.
hydrokinesis. Hydrokinesis allows him to mystically control water based on solution. For example, he can freeze bodies of water or boil it. So theoretically, he does have a way to heat up.
Interesting.
And not to mention,
Oh, gosh.
he would know exactly what SpongeBob is because he has studied oceanography,
Okay.
marine biology.
I suppose that
Oh,
makes
dear.
sense. If you're like the kingdom of the ocean,
Yeah.
then you got to kind of know everything about it.
But yes, as far as durability goes, I spent a good chunk last night doing a calculation based off this
Oh,
feed
boy.
that was given on the Super Friends. So I want you guys to try to bear with me on this one.
Alright, we should probably speed it up though, because it's getting pretty late.
I'm
and we've recorded
trying.
for a while.
It is stated that Aquaman can survive about 3,400 feet underwater at minimum, which is about 40,800 inches. 1 psi of water is 27 inches. PSI for water is like how much water you're feeling on your body at once, like when you step into a pool or go swimming, okay? If I were to take all of Aquaman's body, his height and weight, His body is about 4,100 inches, which means that his body is constantly taking over 1,000 psi at once. Convert. Oh, that's just for his height. The actual number for that I have right here is over 6 million psi that his body can take. I was able to make that into newtons of force, which is about 416 billion.
Interesting.
Trillion, actually. But here's where it gets
Oh
interesting.
gosh.
I could actually calculate an explosion idea he can take with this. So 1 kilogram is. So Bill, let's take Bricky Dave here. Bricky Dave can withstand 105 newtons of force. Okay, 1 kilogram.
It's
of
from my
TNT.
Last of Us Let's Play when I named a brick Bricky
okay.
Dave. And I would carry it
okay.
around and I would say,
Okay.
Bricky Dave, we're on an adventure.
So, to give you an idea, 1 kilogram of TNT can destroy a brick. It would take over 3 trillion kilograms of TNT. So about 1,000 joules is 2.4 kilotons. And based off this number I have right here, Aquaman, taking all this pressure at once, can survive 0.05 exatons of TNT.
That is impressive.
That
Gosh.
is the minimum. There's more numbers to this that I have, but we're stressed for time. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna copy and paste all my work in the chat just for you, Bill.
Yeah, I'll post it on screen as well.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I was going to say 6, but I do kind of want to add this to it. I think SpongeBob might be on a similar level because there was
no, Bill. SpongeBob's maximum was the time he became the moon.
Oh yeah, he did become the moon
Oh,
several
yeah.
times,
Now,
like once in the show, once in the comics.
Is 25. Now the moon is 25% smaller than the Earth. This being, obviously, that moon is way smaller than our actual Earth because of the cartoon. Agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Let's give the benefit of the doubt here and say it took 1 exaton for SpongeBob. SpongeBob's maximum is only 20 times stronger than Aquaman's minimum.
Well, the thing I was going to add, though, is that you said this is when Aquaman's at, like, the very bottom of the ocean, right?
Oh no, that's a minimum number.
Right, because I was going to say, SpongeBob's been on a similar level. He once went to rock bottom, which is at the very bottom of the ocean, and he was able to move around and run around. Like,
Here's the math, Bill.
Now, I'm not disputing your maths. I'm just
dear.
saying, I think SpongeBob might be on a similar level then, because he too
Yes,
has.
that's the point. He is similar to Aquaman's minimum at his maximum.
But wait, if they've been in a similar case, shouldn't that also be SpongeBob's minimum?
No, I base this off of this maximum SpongeBob was, which is when he became the moon.
But okay, but your argument is that when Aquaman at the very bottom of the ocean handling all that PSI, SpongeBob has also been at the bottom of the very ocean, rock bottom.
No, here's the thing. I don't know how deep the ocean is in Super Friends. That number is a minimum number that he was given.
Okay.
Meaning that, theoretically speaking, Aquaman might actually be more durable than SpongeBob.
I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch, to be honest. Don't get me wrong.
That's why it's a theory.
I get where you're going from, but
Yeah,
It's a theory at the end of the day.
but this
that's fair.
that could also lead to maybe, if we go that route, that could even lead to maybe SpongeBob being more durable. Because, like we said, in his universe, humans are way larger, and the Earth he's on is much larger. Because when SpongeBob enters another universe, he's the exact same size. So theoretically, he's probably taking way more pressure than Aquaman is.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have a question. How fast is he, like Aquaman?
Now, it is stated that he can swim at superhuman levels.
I mean, like has he dodged lasers? Though, and
Powers
stuff?
it down.
People are gonna be like, oh, but he lost a race to Black Manta. The only reason Aquaman lost that race was because he saved Black Manta.
Yeah, but like, how fast will he go? Like Aquaman's like no doubt dodged lasers or stuff like that.
Okay, so the Lake of Torment
Battle.
scene was where this race took place. That whole race got completed in under a minute. So assuming this, he is most likely about on par with someone else. Numbers. He's not as fast as, obviously Superman, for example, because Superman, has gotten to crime scenes a lot faster.
Yeah.
But considering he's been on par and has even have telepathy abilities like Wonder Woman, safe to say that when it comes to stuff like that, he's as fast as Wonder Woman's invisible jet at the bare minimum.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I tell you what, we are getting to the hour and a half mark. We still got a third topic, so shall we get to our 60-second debate?
Sure.
So
I'm getting my timer ready.
So, ZDogg, I assume you're going to know how this works. I believe we decided before we decided to have you on. I believe, Bill, you're going to be representing SpongeBob.
Obviously.
I
SpongeBob
will be
boy.
representing Aquaman.
Okay.
Alright, so our goal is to try and
Then-
convince... Oh, sorry, Sean. I thought you stopped.
Nah, I was going to say, basically, we're going to have 60 seconds. Bill's going to start, then I'm going to go. And then after that,
So,
we're going to make our
like the
predictions.
cast,
See,
basically.
yeah, if we convince you or made that who we
okay.
think wins.
Alright.
Okay. Are we allowed to
I would
give
just
points
say-
like after the fact?
I would just say one of you is going to really have to convince me. Not saying who, but one of you is really going to have to.
I think
Alright.
I know it's going to be me.
Well, let's see.
Oh,
So I'm going to represent SpongeBob, my boy. Alright then. So, mate, tell me when I can start. Just going to crack my neck. Taking this really seriously. Oh,
Okay,
I twisted it too
and-
far.
Go.
Alright then, SpongeBob, me boy. He's a master at karate. He's managed to match Sandy multiple times, who actually managed to beat Bikini Bottom's greatest martial artist in all the ocean. He's practically indestructible. He's been incinerated, he's come back. He's been torn apart, he came back. He can even take a pounding, not in a sexual way, of multiple stronger opponents, even from Patrick, who was strong enough to push a city. And he was able to match him one-on-one. And not only that, SpongeBob survived a nuke, which is potentially more stronger than the one that hit Hiroshima. And all him and Squidward said was, ow. So, I really don't see Aquaman doing much to him. And yes, he has been mind controlled in a way, but it took a very specific tool to do it. So, I am sorry, but kids, I can hear you, and SpongeBob's going deep in the ocean in this fight and claiming a victory. And that's all I
You had
got.
a few seconds to spare.
Yeah, but I've pretty much said my piece. He's a great martial artist. He's matched Sandy, who managed to fight the
I would
greatest
like to
martial
point
artist.
out, with Patrick pushing the city, that was the entire population pushing that city.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's something I spoke to Richard and Kira about yesterday.
even if you would say a quarter of that was, or even just a small portion that was Patrick, the fact that he's able to match
but-
Patrick is still enough.
Yeah, but there's still a bit of a... There's still some questionable stuff because we don't know exactly how big Bikini Bottom is. Its size, constantly...
Well, there is actually a way we could do that, but first let's hear Sean's argument.
I'm just saying it's presented differently, and we don't know exactly how big the population is, and everyone was doing their fair share.
Alright, well, let's hear Sean's 60 seconds, and then I'll provide my theory on, that sort of thing. Not a complete theory, 'cause, we still need a third topic. So,
All right, Sean, are you ready?
I shall do my best.
And go.
Aquaman is going to leave SpongeBob all shriveled up in this battle. You mentioned how SpongeBob is good at karate. That is very, very false. Aquaman is a more skilled fighter because he can keep on par with a bunch of different villains in DC. Captain Cold and Darkseid. He also has the ability to be able to know what exactly kind of creature SpongeBob is and determine his weakness. And considering that he could possibly control SpongeBob and get him into sunlight, SpongeBob can last barely 10 minutes in sunlight, whereas Aquaman can last an hour. And even then, if SpongeBob weren't able to absorb water, what's stopping Aquaman from boiling him or freezing him and just taking that water back? Not to mention, he is most likely more durable based off the numbers I gave off earlier. And of course, the Trident of Neptune is going to have magic abilities that SpongeBob has not ever encountered. In the end, SpongeBob, me boy, you did your best. Against the King of Atlantis, you will be dethroned as the best Aqua character.
And time.
Okay,
Hey,
there was. Oh, Zero, do you want to say?
Oh, I just that's a note. There are some things I want to add, but yeah.
Oh,
Well, not now.
okay.
If you wanted to say something, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, we kind of spoke at the same time, but I was going to correct Sean on a lot of things. One, you say he's not good at karate. Yes, he is. He's matched Sandy on multiple occasions and even beaten her in fights. And even matched her strength, because at one point in the show, Sandy was lifting buildings up to try and find SpongeBob, and yet he regularly fights with her. And it's either Sandy wins, but sometimes SpongeBob wins. So that's... Yeah.
Maybe go to karate, but like I said, Aquaman's going up against people who are superior when it comes to this kind of hand-to-hand fighting styles. Captain Cold, Darkseid, Lex Luthor, etc., etc.
No, because even Sandy's taken on the ocean's best martial artist. So, and SpongeBob can match her. So, I think there's some questionable things there. And the other thing as well was that there's not. Sure, he could boil SpongeBob, but the thing you got to remember is, sure, on land against the sun, that can hurt him. But he's been in magma-based areas in the bottom of the ocean plenty of times, and he's even been completely disintegrated, showing he can handle, heat enough that could vaporize you underwater. So I think Aquaman's boiler thing's not going to really matter much, and he's been frozen and he was completely fine, or he managed to break out of it. So
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna give my thoughts on who I think wins.
all right, let's actually wrap this section up because an hour and 40 minutes and we still got a third time. So mate, did we convince you?
Okay, Sean, I get what you're saying about the whole, he might be more durable thing, and he has a way to exploit things that have, quote-unquote, killed SpongeBob before. Honestly, at the end of the day, Toon Force go burr.
Toon Force ain't gotta explain shit.
I was just gonna say that someone should make that meme.
Hey, man, all I can say is I had to try my hardest with this.
Yeah, do you know what? I think this is the hardest any of us have worked on to provide an argument for our characters.
Yeah,
I mean that's fair.
I had to do mythology on Hercules. I had to find a way that Predator could beat Boba Fett.
Okay, do you know what? Yeah, I think when it comes to the 60 seconds, Sean's definitely way better. I usually just try and go with what I see on screen without calculations. And then there's May, who just looks up wikis while we're recording.
I just wing it.
Yeah, so...
To be fair,
Look, I was in an uphill battle with this, so I had to bring out those numbers.
to be fair, Thor and Apocalypse did win their episodes.
That is true.
Fair enough.
He didn't pick them.
Okay, but mate, so you're going with SpongeBob like me? Because I suppose, yes,
Yeah.
I'm going with SpongeBob. ZDogg, who convinced you?
I mean, Sean did put up a good argument, but I think there are, I think just because of being more durable, plus a few things in my head that weren't brought up, I gotta go. I mean, I could also be biased, but I gotta go with SpongeBob. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just struggle. Even with the fire thing, I just don't think Aquaman could kill him. That's just the thing. He's just too durable. Plus, SpongeBob has a bunch of things that could defeat him, mainly the Penzo's eraser ability. I gotta go with SpongeBob. I gotta.
Yeah, or he can even just karate chop him in half, because Aquaman doesn't have a healing factor, so just karate chop him in half. I mean, he's actually chopped people in half. He chopped Squidward in half at one point, and we know how durable that man is.
I will just also admit, if this was SpongeBob versus comics Aquaman,
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
yeah, I'm going Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman would absolutely destroy SpongeBob then, but because this is Super Friends.
Yeah, this is just Super Friends Aquaman, so yeah, SpongeBob all the way.
No,
But this
no
released
comics, no nothing.
So, final question though, Sean. Despite how much you defended Aquaman, are you sticking with your guns? Are you?
Can't really stick with my guns on this one. I've proven that SpongeBob's max is better than Aquaman's minimum durability.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Toon Force is absurd. Aquaman does have some win cons. I'm going to say this right now because a lot of people think it's one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
Based off this map I did, no, this is surprisingly closer than I thought.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah, I will give you that. This combo did convince me that it is way more debatable than I've seen. So that's
Yeah.
good.
I think I'm gonna have to go with SpongeBob just because A, he's more durable than Aquaman, and B, Toon Force is a little absurd.
yeah. I mean,
gonna
he's
go
not
SpongeBob.
on Popeye's level. To be fair, like SpongeBob can
Oh, no.
get
Yeah,
hurt, but of course,
But he's still really insane.
yeah.
So why?
So your win, like that poster you make of all the winning characters, it's gonna look weird if SpongeBob wins.
And hey,
Just
ZDogg,
wait,
if you want
just
to
wait,
use
Apocalypse.
ZDogg, if you want to use
Apocalypse
any
Silver.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna pull that up now. We got Jinx, Zatanna, Jonathan Joestar, 4, Omni-Man, Magneto, Sun Wukong, Boba Fett, Excalibur, Bond, James Bond, Apocalypse, Silver the Hedgehog.
Like,
What the hell has this season been?
like
a lot of fun.
God. And,
is that
and I swear, the next time. Well, sorry, Sean, go on.
What do I
ZDogg, if you
say?
wanna use-
The previous one had Mickey Mouse and the Kool-Aid Man. And Popeye.
true?
So I was gonna
Yes.
tell ZDogg if he wants to use any of this for Robust Cast, go for it.
I might, just in case, just to help a little, but yeah, I appreciate it.
Alright. Before we
Also,
actually...
just
sorry.
saying, if the next, just real quick, if the next fight is what everyone thinks it is, I think that's gonna be even funnier. Just freaking, just if it's what everyone thinks it is, just those winners, freaking SpongeBob and Jason Voorhees in the back to back. That'd be so funny. Assuming it is that, but you know,
Yeah.
Do you know what? Me and
Oh
make
my
jokes about this so many years ago when I used to crossover Clash, and we had this funny little skit idea of like Death Battle combatants entering the winning room when they win. Imagine being Omni-Man and you see SpongeBob walking in, you're just like, you want to fight to the death.
I mean, Omni-Man will walk in and see Popeye, the Kool-Aid Man. Like, the mask.
Yeah, that is crazy. Imagine if ever tempted to do like,
that's funny to think about.
what could be a funny third topic is that we look at what is the weakest power character that it would be in the win streak, and what would be the strongest characters in the losing areas. Like that'd be kind of fun to look into. Like in terms of what the verse community considered like the weakest character to win a fight and the strongest.
I think Hercule's in contention.
Yeah, actually, I feel like
Yeah.
Hercule and James Bond. I think Hercule might just be stronger. I don't know. That'd be an interesting third topic. Speaking of
Other
third topic,
topics.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, we're still doing ZDogg's thing, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. Before we move to the third
Why don't we
topic.
do? Yeah, this way we can take a break from that and just surprise people with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
ZDogg. So a lot of Death Battle podcasts have this tradition, like, hey, what's your most wanted, and etc. So why don't you
Yep.
tell us your
That's
yeah. So what is your most wanted fight? What is your most favorite fight? And what's your least favorite fight?
Should we start the least
All right,
favorite, just
well-
get that out of the way?
Do you know what? Good point.
All right. Least
I think I
favorite
know what it is.
hasn't really changed much yet. It's still Cammy versus Sonya. Like, I don't know. Like, I haven't really gone. I haven't really thought about it in a while. So I mean, but like, I think this is the episode where like just I can just safely say I don't like it. Like,
I'm gonna say it's
like
because of its quality, right?
it's not that. I mean, I will. I mean, I have to thank it for like being the first fight Luis ever worked on and how it caught us here today. But like, man, this fight is not good. It's not that good, or like it doesn't look that good. I won't say that much.
The sprites they
Looking
did
back on
use-
it, yeah, it really doesn't.
I mean,
Look at it this way.
I think because during the time that episode came out, we had some pretty lackluster fights, but that one was really good compared to it, and we had a pretty gruesome death.
I mean, yeah, the death was fine. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't sit right with me. Like a lot of like how it looks, and I kind of feel like they kind of, well, not really. Like they kind of didn't treat Cammy with all that respect. I mean, maybe it's just because they like hyped Sonya up so much, it just looked like Cammy wasn't there in comparison. It's just.
I will agree with
don't
you
know,
on
just-
that, because as someone who's a Sonya fan, I felt like she was given justice, but Cammy just kind of felt like she was given a secondary sort of appreciation.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, there are definitely worse episodes out there, but I still would consider this my least favorite episode of the show. So
I can understand that, especially compared to what Louise has done now. Yeah.
Look at it this way.
and,
That was a
compared to
Magikarp,
older
Silver
Super
versus
Sprite
Trunks. Yeah, that was a Magikarp. Silver versus Trunks is a Gyarados in comparison.
There you go.
You know what?
There you go.
All right, but
Oh gosh, yeah.
so what's
Now
your
bring,
most
now bring
favorite?
both of them back, cowards. Anyway,
So what's your most favorite? I'm kind of curious about this because no doubt it's probably changed over the few years.
it has actually. Well, it has compared from what I said in it when I was on the Brobus cast. It is Mario versus Sonic 2018.
Oh, okay.
You gotta love Laughing Dragon coming in to animate that.
Yeah.
Depends.
I mean, I this could be a bias thing because like I am a big Mario and Sonic fan, and the original Mario Sonic was actually like the first ever death battle I ever saw. So
Same.
the fact it got redone and just I don't know, I just really like it. I don't know how to explain it. Like I just really like how they did with it. I like all the references. I think the fighting was super neat. The analysis was really good. It was the first time hand-drawn was in Boomstick caught it, were put in. I think they were used really well. It's just I don't know. I really like it, and it might be because I hold it very special because it's a remake of the very first episode I ever watched. But I really like it. It holds a special place in my heart as well, alongside the first episode. So, yeah.
All right, then.
That's fair.
So what's your most wanted as of recently? Has that changed, or is it still the matchup you've talked a lot about?
Okay. This is going to get a gasp. It is actually changed. And to address that first, I still do want Miles Deku, which was my previous one. I still do want that a lot. It is my second favorite.
I will just
recently
comment on Miles Deku. Some manga stuff happened that make that even more thematic.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. I'm interested. But I still really want to see that. But honestly, like recently, I think I've come to want Luigi versus Pac-Man more.
That's a fight I've also been interested in seeing.
Wow, that's something, all right. I think it's like
I know, audible gas.
in a way, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, like when it was
Yeah.
first, like when I was on Duo's Discord server, and I'm still on there now. Yeah, when people were like requesting that, I thought it was like an ironic sort of thing, you know. But looking into it, I was like, actually, this would be a pretty fun episode, and I could see the potential in animation-wise. Like, I remember the DBX that came out for Pac-Man versus Yoshi, wasn't it? That was a pretty creative fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Yoshi.
And the kill was
Yeah.
pretty good in
Yeah,
Pac-Man's case.
Yeah, it was really brutal. My gosh. But there's a lot you can do with it. Yeah, for Yoshi. My gosh. There's
All
a
the
lot
way
you
down
can do
to
with
his
it.
eyes.
But yeah, oh gosh. But it's just above all else. I really want to see Luigi return. He's like my. Like, I don't know. I mean, Luigi Tales wasn't that bad, but like I would really like to see him come back and give him another episode. And Pac-Man, I feel like, is one of the characters that was like the most overdue for an episode. Like, how the heck have we not gotten it? An episode with Pac-Man yet? Like,
Yeah.
huh?
And you know, I was always
Like,
one
all
of
these years.
I was always one of those people as well that didn't like the idea of Luigi vs. Tails, because I get it, you know, rivalry, so hey, why not have their sidekicks fight? But really, Luigi and Tails don't have that much in common, really, aside being sidekicks. So, you know, it makes sense for Mario vs. Sonic because they're iconic rivalries in video games, but I definitely think Tails and Luigi deserve more unique characters for their death battles, and they're probably one of the only characters from Season 2 I'll be okay coming back.
Yeah, and I mean, at least with Luigi Tales, they did that whole, like, yeah, we're just gonna stick with what's unique to them.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
but
it
them
would have
both
just
in.
been a redo of what they did with Mario and Sonic beforehand.
Exactly. And bringing them both back with like their full arsenal of power-ups, I think would be really cool. So, yeah, that's my most wanted. I still want Miles Deku, but I think this has just slightly dethroned it.
Okay, I was asked this when I was asked about Genji versus Zero with my most wanted, but who would you say wins that?
I personally believe Luigi wins. Yeah,
I'm kind of
I don't know.
Pac-Man, to be honest. That could be an interesting. If we have you on again for that, then you and me can do the 60 seconds.
Oh yeah, I will debate Luigi. I will defend my boy. But I think just the Mario series is like way more insane than like the Pac-Man stuff. I think Luigi has better feats. He has, I don't know. He has more insane arsenal. Yeah. So, but yeah.
All right,
So
then.
there's that. Man, that felt weird not being on the other end of that, but no, I kid.
But
yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks for sharing that with us, ZDogg. And here's hoping Luigi versus Pac-Man happens soon, so that we can have you on.
I feel like that one's like got to happen at some point. It's requested so much.
I could see it happening.
Yeah, for real.
Unless they decide to do
It's probably
Pac-Man
gonna
versus
happen.
Kirby, which I will hate because I don't like that matchup. Majin Buu versus Kirby was perfect for me.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But speaking of debates, that's somewhat going into our third topic. A unique episode, to say the least.